you're loving Germany, or?
I knew we'd be asked this. Well, I mean, we're trying to sort of, I mean, Germany is a big country. We tend to sort of, to get from A to C, we have to go through B. We're playing, for a variety of reasons, we're playing places that historically has been very good for us, as well as some places that we have never played before. Just trying to find a balance, really. You know, I mean, it's... I
think Germany also attracts from the neighbouring countries as well. You know, we're not doing Denmark, we're not doing lots of other places, you know, so kind of, you know, it is that sort of central point where people can come to. And it'd be fair to say that of all countries, probably Germany has always been the place that wants to see us most. So that's why we're probably spending a little more time there.
Adam?
Adam Sherwin in The Times. Phil, you've talked about the hearing loss that you suffered in your left ear. Yeah. What sort of advice did you have medically about going on a tour? And will you be playing drums at some point each night during the tour? Or will you be able to protect your hearing on this tour?
Oh, I don't go for the protection. No, my hearing actually is it's no better, no worse than it was 6 years ago when it happened. So at one point I was advised not to do any more live shows because why take the risk of buggering the other one up, you know. But it wasn't music that did it. It's just it was a viral infection, which could have happened to anybody, and unfortunately happened to me. So, you know, I went on my last tour because I realised that it wasn't actually going to suffer, and I could actually perform without it really sort of taking any toll. So I won't be. I will be playing drums. Oh God, yes, I'll be playing drums. But as soon as I practiced, I realised that the 2 weeks in New York made me realise I've got to practice more. But there'll be lots of drumming moments. But it doesn't really get in the way. In a loud environment, like in a loud restaurant or something, I find it very difficult to hear. But normally, it's fine. It's levelled off. My brain is adjusted, which is good for a drummer, really.
Thank you. Gentleman over here.
Hi, this is Norbert from Austria, Hit Radio Dry. Nice to have you in Austria, like in terms of this tour. The question would have been, is Turn It On Again, the tour. Was this a long-term plan, you guys coming together, being on tour again, or did it just happen to be?
I think at the moment it just happens to be, really. We're not very good on long-term plans. I mean, I think sometimes you make these big, long plans and then they don't happen, and it doesn't sort of, people get a bit annoyed. We just sort of do what comes along. I mean, as we've said, this is the right time for us. For many reasons, and it's going to work, and then I think we'll see, really. I mean, for years we were asked about touring, and I always never say never. And here we are. So there's nothing planned, but who knows?
How important is the fun part on that?
Fun part? God, yes, it's really important, actually.
Yeah.
I think our vibe was that we couldn't make this fun to do. Why do it, you know? I think we get on great. I think it'll be great, actually. I really look forward to it.
I know it's hard to believe right now, but actually we spend an awful lot of time laughing. This isn't the most natural environment for us, but actually we do get on really, really well. And we just say the 2 weeks in New York, you know, there's 50% laughing. Well, actually, it was 25% laughing, 25% playing, and 50% hanging around. But it was great fun.
Gentleman in the black shirt.
Hi, this is Jean-Paul Heck from The Telegraph in Holland, the Daily. We talked with each other 2 years ago at the farm about the box set, and we talked about the material of Winds and Wuthering and Trick of the Tail. Are you going to do some material of that, because maybe that's the most likely lovely to play, I guess? You're going to do that stuff, that old stuff?
Well, we're playing stuff from, you know, we also got 16 albums or something, so we're playing a bit from everything. In the case of Trick of the Tail, yeah, we're definitely playing some things from that, certainly Los Endos. I mean, we haven't totally finalised exactly what we're going to play, but there's stuff from every era. Wind and Wuthering, we're certainly doing Afterglow and stuff, you know. But some of the things you just can't do too much from any one era. I suppose the era that we're doing more of probably is the last couple of albums. The last couple of albums we did with Phil, at least, We Can't Dance and Invisible Touch, just because it produced a lot of hits, and people, I think, coming to the shows would like to hear some of those. So That's how we're sort of deciding it.
Hi, hi, I'm Christian from the German Genesis fan club. A question about the forthcoming tour. Do you intend to release the shows as an encore series, as Peter Gabriel did? And also, what are about the plans to release the soundboard recordings from previous tours and the Jackson tape and all that stuff?
Huh? Do you know? I don't know. Haven't thought about it.
I haven't really got that far yet.
It has been talked about, I think, in terms of the existing tour. I mean, you know, it's certainly no technical reason why it can't be done.
What do you think?
Warts and all. People want it. In terms of the old board tapes, I mean, we've got stacks of them. A lot of them have been recorded over, actually. I have to say, with other things. But, no, there's an awful lot there. We have talked many times about doing this. It's just it's a lot of work for somebody to do to get it in a state where it can actually be to put out so that people could have it. But if people would like to hear it, I know people would, you know, but it's... so we talked about it for quite a few years and not done anything yet, so don't hold your breath.
I would have thought there'd be some kind of memento of it in some shape or form. I mean, we're going to be having screens, I'm sure, because we're playing outdoors, and if you're filming every night, because you may as well record it if you're doing a live shoot. So, you know, I mean, it's probably kind of inevitable, but we haven't actually got that far in talking about it.
Okay, thank you.
It's the guys back
Zedia in the corner there.
I feel you are denying kind of the tour because you call it shows, although it's written on the screen there, the tour. I just wonder if you are a bit worried about the physical stress. Okay.
It's a selection of shows.
How do you prepare physically for this selection of shows then?
Well, personally speaking, I mean, Tony goes into a very rigid regime when he's all night. No, I mean, it's the rehearsing does it, really. I'm not very good at training. I've never been very good at sort of just standing or sitting on a bike, you know, sitting in the same place. I mean, I find I get healthier and fitter doing it, which, so, you know, we'll be sort of trying my best during the rehearsals. I just want to just make sure, I've just got to, my main thing is not being fit, it's actually making sure I don't get ill, cold or something, because that always buggers the whole thing up. So I'll be trying my best to do that. But, yeah, it's not that strenuous, this selection of shows.
Right. Gentleman in the white shirt. Kate?
Thanks. Hi, Mark Chigesha from The Express. How important is the financial element of this to you, or is it a purely artistic endeavour?
Oh, that question, right.
We're just doing it for fun. I mean, that's really the thing. And also, hopefully, the only other area that I care about, I think, a little bit, is that if Genesis is played on the radio at all these days, it tends to be in England anyhow. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but it tends to be things like, you know, Follow You, Follow Me, or I Can't Dance, or something. And Genesis has another side to it, which is really what makes us distinctive, I think, and it's probably the reason why we've lasted all the years we have, which is a rather more sort of like complex kind of area of music. And because the band's been kind of schizophrenic, you know, sometimes one area gets slightly more attention than the other. So I'm very pleased to go out there and be able to play things, well, like we mentioned, Los Endos or Domino or In the Cage and things like this, which represent that other side of us as well. So that's one of the motives for me for doing it, is just to try and reacquaint people. You know, Genesis is not, you know, it's not particularly a group that's sort of mentioned very much these days in the papers I read, anyhow. And I'd just like to slightly sort of just remind people that we did do a lot of different things.
I think if money was an issue, we'd be doing more than 20 shows. That's one thing. You know. I think if we were to satisfy the demand that I suspect there is out there,